now here to talk about the Hardee Senior High School Blue Star Brigade's exciting opportunity to perform at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium tomorrow is Chet Huddleston.
Thanks, Glenn. In studio today, we're joined by the incredible Justin Graham, the band director of the Hardee High Blue Star Brigade. Tomorrow, they're off to the University of Florida for UF Day, and Justin's here to give us a glimpse into the excitement, preparations, and musical magic they'll be bringing to Gainesville. And I just found out a few minutes ago you brought a special guest with you. So could you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us who you brought with you?
Yeah, so I'm Justin Graham, and today we have Miss Graham with us today. She's a math teacher at the high school. She's also our color guard coach, which is a huge part of the Blue Star Brigade. They will also be joining us tomorrow down at Gainesville, cheering us along with the Gator Band's color guard.
Awesome. So tell me what goes into making this possible and what's actually going to happen. I mean, if our listeners are tuning in and they're thinking UF Day, what all does that entail?
Yeah, so it's an awesome opportunity presented from the college, the university, where they're allowing our students to come join them for the day to see what it's like to be a collegiate marching band member. So we have all of their music for the halftime show, for in the stands. We've been learning it. We're going to join them in the stands at 7:30 or whenever the kickoff is. We'll be cheering on the Gators along with them, and then at halftime we'll join them on the field for a halftime performance.
Awesome. So, how does this start? At the beginning of the year? Did you know this was going to happen last year? Where does this originate from?
So a lot of universities do this. They call it a band day where they bring in high school students. Last year we actually went to USF and did something very similar, but this year we wanted to take it up a notch and check what Gainesville has to offer. And they have it all expenses paid. We had just paid for transportation, so the students just had to pay a little bit of money, get us up there. They're giving us shirts. We get to practice with them. We get free entry to the game, and we get to perform with them.
Awesome. So I've tell me about their attire. I had someone ask the other day, said, "Oh, they remember the beautiful uniforms when they were in band." And but tell me about the attire for the day.
So when we go up there, we're going to go up in our khakis, closed-toe shoes, and our band shirts. UF is actually providing us with a special T-shirt for the day to match with all the other high schools and with the Gator Band's uniforms.
That's great. Now, you say other high schools. How many is going to be there?
I don't know how many high schools are going, but I know that we have about 70 going, are 70 of the 850 going.
Wow.
So it's a pretty exciting event for lots of high schools in the area, all over the state, really.
That's great. And what goes into preparations for this event from a student that's in the Blue Star Brigade? What goes in from their perspective? Yeah,
it's kind of exciting and a little scary for some of them because, some of them are freshmen and we're playing collegiate level music. So they didn't dumb it down or anything for us. We're playing the exact stand tunes that they play in the stands every Saturday. And the music is collegiate level music for the halftime show. So it's real exciting. We've been playing along with their recordings of the Gator Band as we prepare for it. But it's a good challenge, and it's a lot of fun for our students.
Awesome. So I understand you guys have a pretty early start time on Saturday.
Yes, we do. So our report time is 8 o'clock for directors to check in for our band. And if you know how far Gainesville is from Wauchula, it's about 3 hours on a good day with
no traffic,
a normal car. So we're taking buses up there. So we're leaving at 4:30 a.m. And we'll hopefully be back around 2 a.m. the next day, I guess you could say.
Wow.
It's going to be a long day, but we have to get up there, rehearse with the Gator Band, do everything for the day, and then it's a whole normal collegiate football game at the end of the night. So.
Okay, so if I'm sitting here and I'm hearing this interview and I'm thinking, gosh, they got to leave so early, but the game isn't till 7. So what happens through the day?
Mm-hmm. So we get there around 8:30. We practice with the Gator Band, figuring out what's going to happen at our halftime performance and et cetera. And then we are actually going to take the kids over to a what's the mall called?
I think it's the Oaks Mall.
The Oaks Mall. It's a big mall over there in Gainesville. Kids will have some free time to enjoy the mall, get some food. Before and after we actually leave for the mall, students will have a little bit of time to kind of see a little bit of the campus. So it's a good exposure to just the college experience.
So on the Blue Star Brigade's halftime show that they do and they perform at every football game, every Wildcat football game, how much preparation goes into getting prepared for that?
So that, I mean, we practice 2 to 3 times a week of 2 hours each of those days. And then on top of that, class time every day, practicing the music, the visuals, the marching. There's a lot of time that goes into it. So when you say that this is a long day, 4 to 2, it's not, they're not unfamiliar with a day like this. That's a typical day for our students.
I was going to say that's a lot crammed into one day for them to have to learn.
It is. And our students they're not shy of stepping up to those challenges. A normal football game day just for us here in Wauchula would consist of them getting up, 7 o'clock, coming to school all day. Right. Then we load up the buses, travel, however far we got to travel, on top of all the practice, homework, schoolwork. Our students are dedicated.
Well, speaking from the perspective as a band parent, I can attest to that. That's for sure. And they start band camp before school even starts.
Yeah, so we started about 2 weeks or so before school actually started, and we've been working ever since, tirelessly, at least 3 times a week after school. So that's addition to class. And we just finished our 3-part show. So a lot of our fans have seen the first part or so of the show. It's been a couple games since we've, debuted any more of the show. But next time they see us, we'll have a 7.5 minute show on the field of marching, music, visuals. And it's a lot of work, a lot of effort that goes into that.
So we're several months into the school year, if my memory serves me right. So these young adults have been working for several months, and you said just finished up the 3rd segment of the performance, and then now they're going to UF and they're going to have to learn everything crammed into one day. So you're right. That's a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, and a lot of commitment on their part.
Certainly.
That's definitely admirable. And so what's it like as a band director to be involved in a day like this?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of prep up front, getting everything, making sure we have our rosters ready. We have everything in line for the day to go smooth. Make sure we have our buses ready at 4 a.m.
Right.
Just having everything prepared. Once we get to the day, there's not going to be a whole lot I have to do. We go check in, we practice, we do our thing. Our kids know what to do in terms of that. We go eat, have fun at the mall, then we go enjoy a football game.
All right, that's awesome. And I guess I would ask, you're probably not going to have any sleep for about 48 hours there.
Yeah.
Well, that definitely brings us to understanding the amount of commitment and dedication that you put in and the hard work that you put into making all of this possible for those young adults.
Yeah. So. Whenever they start complaining, I'm right there with them. I'm telling you, we have to go to practice after school every day too. So we love it, and we love, dedicating our time to them.
So tell me a little bit about you and your background and what got you to being band director of the Blue Star Brigade.
Yeah, so I went to school at Florida State University, which is kind of funny since we're going to the UF day. But I went to Florida State University, and on my internship, I had a mentoring teacher that actually knew Bob Shaman. Awesome. And that's how the connection for getting over here to Wauchula spurred out. So they knew Bob Shaman, and he gave me a call. We talked, and he brought us down here, me and my wife, Miss Graham, as well. And we fell in love with the town. They fell in love with us, and they got a math teacher and a band director.
Oh, that's perfect. Well, Miss Graham, let's talk about your perspective a little bit on UF Day, and what are you most excited about?
Well, as much as I hate UF, it's a great opportunity for these kids. I know a lot, at least speaking from a color guard perspective, a lot of these members, they have a lot of talent. They could become a collegiate spinner. And I think having them out on the field with the college UF band, they're going to get to see that and be like, this is what I want to do.
Right.
So just getting to inspire them. It's going to be a long day, and I love my sleep, but getting to see how excited and happy they are, it's really all worth it.
That's great.
Yeah, and as much as we hate UF, we'll keep saying that. We've been to a few of their games over there. I think we lost both of them that I went to in my college days, but the atmosphere there is awesome.
Yeah.
So are you guys a little nervous being from Florida State walking on University of Florida field? I mean, I understand that some of the band kids was worried about you guys stepping foot on their
We'll
field.
be okay.
Okay.
We have marched there before.
We've marched
Okay.
there before, so we'll be all right. But it's electrifying. It's awesome. I don't think any of our kids have experienced like a D1,
Right,
premium football
Especially a
game.
night game.
Yeah, we've been to USF last year, but it was USF versus
Okay.
nobody or something. At least this is the Gators versus nobody,
Right,
so
right.
this will be awesome. Awesome experience for them.
I'm sure that every single one of the students that attend this event is going to remember this for years to come.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure you hear it from being a band parent. I hear it from other band parents, and they talk about their days in the band and their memories and their friends and the things that they did and the events that they went to and the shirts that they did and the fundraisers and all those great things. So it definitely gives you a perspective that as much as the students that are participating today may not realize this, they're making lifelong memories
Oh yeah.
on a daily basis.
And developing life skills, as
For sure.
you mentioned previously in conversation. Like everything that we are doing translates to jobs, to work ethic, dedication. It's much more than just music.
That's right. Well, I can't thank you both enough for all the hard work and everything that you do, for not just the band program, but for the young adults that's in there also, which helps our community and everybody that we know. So there are future leaders here. So, thank you guys both for everything that you do.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yep. And Justin, while I have you on air, I got to ask, since you were Florida State, and are Seminole at heart, are you going to be rooting for the Gators tomorrow?
I'm not going to be rooting for the Gators. I'm going to be rooting for
Wow.
UNC Charlotte.
Wow.
I don't even know what their mascot is, but I would be rooting for them.
I had to ask. So, all right. Well, as our conversation with Justin and Miss Graham over here, the band director of the Hardee High Blue Star Brigade, and his wife comes to a close, we truly are inspired by the dedication and the musical powerhouse that these two provide to our community in this program. Tomorrow's UF Day performance at the University of Florida promises to be a highlight of their journey, and we'll be cheering them on every step of the way. Keep an eye out for updates and musical adventures and continued success. Now let's send it back over to Glenn.
And that concludes our time with Hardee Midday today, brought to you by the speed, smiles, and service you'll always find at Hardee County's hometown bank since 1960. And no other bank deserves that title other than our very own First National Bank of Wauchula. You can stop in and see them at 406 North 6th Avenue right here in Wauchula, or visit them on the web at fnbwauchula.com. And don't forget, if you have an account open with First National Bank of Wauchula, you can manage your accounts anytime and anywhere you go using their electronic banking system. Your quote for the day: with the rise of self-driving vehicles, it's only a matter of time before we get a country song where a guy's truck leaves him too. Tune in not tomorrow but Monday for the latest in Hardee County news and information. I've been Glenn, and we will see you then. Until then, have a great and safe and cool rest of your day and a great weekend, folks.